Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover the topic of constructor chapter. Three topics we are going to cover today: temporary instance, constructor overloading, and calling a constructor inside another constructor. So today we are going to cover these three topics. Temporary instance. What is this temporary instance? That is instance an object that is temporary. We are not going to store this object in the memory, but only for a single purpose use we are creating this object. So after that use, the object will be automatically deleted. This is for very large programs, whether there is memory spaces, memory is using a lot. So if to avoid that memory usage, we used to create temporary instance. So it will be deleted after the each execution. So after that execution, if you want to use that object, you want to again create the temporary instance. Let's go and check how to use this temporary instance and how to create this temporary instance. The explicit call to a constructor also allows you to create a temporary instance or a temporary object. A temporary instance is the one that lives in the memory as long as it is being used or referenced in an expression, and after that it dies. That is, it will only active till you use that object. After the use, it will automatically get deleted because it is a temporary instance. The temporary instances are anonymous, that is, they do not bear a name. An explicit call to the constructor let you create a temporary instance. As like, we are creating an object. How will you create an object? Suppose my class name, let it be, I will write class name, object name is equal to new class name of. This way you used to create an object. Yes, this way you used to create an object. Now, here, suppose my class name is ABC and I am giving an object name OB is equal to new ABC of. Here we are mentioning an object name. Yes, this is for a permanent object. This is for a permanent object. When you create an object with the keyword new, the object will get permanently inserted in the memory. It will get a memory, it will be allocated to the memory. Whereas while creating a temporary instance, it will not get a memory space and it will be active till the usage. After the usage, it is automatically get deleted. Now we'll see how we will. So I am going to write a program class ABC, and in that I am declaring two variables ij, and I have a constructor ABC with variable int a comma int b. Inside that I am assigning I is equal to a and j is equal to b, and I am writing another method. Let it be print with no parameters, and inside this what I am doing is I am simply printing I and j. How will you print I? Plus space or comma plus j. Otherwise it will be I plus j. It will be add and give you. Okay. And this method is closed. Now I will write my main method: public static void main string args. Now in this method, inside the method, I am going to create two objects. One is permanent object and second one is temporary object. How will you create? My class name is ABC. OB is equal to new abc 2 comma 5 ob dot print of next I am writing temporary instance new abc 6 comma 9 dot print of. Now I am closing the main method and I am closing the class. See, here I have created two objects. One is permanent and another is temporary. What is the benefit of permanent and temporary is that I will start execution of this. So usually the program will start with a class and it will declare two variables I and j, and after that automatically the compiler will start executing from the main method. So the third execution, and there is an object creation. When the object is automatically created, it will automatically invoke the constructor. It will call the constructor. This is a permanent object because you have created with a new keyword and an object name. You have created with the object name. So this is become permanent and it will be always in the memory. So you can use the object name whenever you want. It will be there only. It will not get die because this is a permanent object. It is created with the name. ob 2 comma 5 and what happens means 5 will come to here in this constructor call. A will be assigned with the value 2, B will be assigned with the value 5 because you are passing 2 and 5. Now I will be assigned to 2, J will be assigned to 5, 6th execution, and after this again it will comes to the main method, the calling method, and there is a call by using the object, permanent object ob.printf. So what happens means automatically it comes to printf method 8 and it will print I comma j, that is your output will be 2 comma 5. Okay, and then after printing this 9 10 again it will comes to back to here. This is a temporary instance. This is a temporary instance because you have not created this with an object name. You have not created with an object name. You simply return the keyword new and abc the values. So this is just a temporary instance. When you do not create an object with an object name, then it is a temporary instance. Only after the during the execution it will be active. After this print it will get deleted. That means new abc 6 comma 9 dot print means it will go with the value 6 9. Automatically it will call the constructor, that is 11. Here it will become 4 and this will become 6 and this will become 9, and automatically this will be 6 and this will be 9, and it has made a call dot print of. So it will call this function, that is 12 13. So it will print here as your second output will be after 2 comma 5 it will print 6 comma 9. Execution will be same, but the difference is that after the execution of I and j, this object will get deleted because it has not created with an object name. So it will not store in the memory. This object will get deleted, but ob will be there. You can use ob. So when you want to use the temporary instance again, what you have to do is again you have to use new abc dot printf. So after each execution you have to create this because it is a temporary instance. The temporary instances are deleted when they are no longer referenced. It will get deleted. See, here they have mentioned it's an anonymous temporary instance and lives in the memory as long the statement sample49.printf is executing. After that, the compiler deletes it. This is temporary instance just for a particular use. After that use, it will automatically get deleted. Now, Now moving to the next topic, constructor overloading. I have already covered a chapter in that function overloading we have discussed. What is function overloading? In a class there are 2 or 3 methods which is having the same name but has different signature. That means the number of and the type of argument passed will be different. Same here, constructor overloading means in a class there will be 2 or more constructor which is having the same name as that of a class but different number of arguments passed and the type of arguments passed will be different. That is, signature will be different. That is the definition for constructor overloading. I will show you an example. The main difference between a constructor and a function is that function will have a different name as that of a class name, whereas constructor will have the same name as that of class name. So we will move to constructor overloading. Here I am writing class overload. My class name is overload. See, you can see the changes. Here I am doing int a comma b float c. Okay. Now I am writing a constructor public overload. See the name of the class and the constructor, that both are same. This is a non-parameterized constructor. Here I am assigning a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, c is equal to 4.5. Okay, and then I am closing it. Next I am writing public overload of, I am writing int a comma float c. Int a comma float c. 2 parameters, one is integer and another is float. And here I am writing, will write instead of float a or int c, we can write this as a d e, because otherwise we have to use the keyword this. If the local variable and the global variable has the same name, we have to use the this keyword to differentiate between global variable and local variable. So to avoid that, I use 2 different variables. So a is equal to d, b is equal to, we can give any variable, I think we can give 30, and c is equal to e. Okay, I have assigned like this, and I have closed this constructor, and I am writing another constructor with 3 variables, int d, int e, float f. 3 parameters. See here, first constructor has no parameter, second constructor has 2 parameters and the type is also different, and the third constructor has 3 parameters and the type is different. Here a is equal to d, b is equal to e, c is equal to f. Again I am writing one more constructor. You can write any number of constructor, it's up to you. But the number of type and the argument should be different. Okay. See, here also 2 parameters, here also 2 parameters. How did the compiler will differentiate? There is a one difference. See, here one is integer and another is float. Here both are int. So by this you can identify that the constructor which is having 2 integers and the constructor which is having 1 integer and float. So in that manner it will be differentiate. B is equal to 36. C, B is equal to E. B is equal to E. And C is equal to 40.8. Okay. And I've closed constructor. Now I am writing the main method, the important public static void main string args Inside that, what I'm doing is I'm creating overload. You can create object in any manner. OB is equal to new overload 6,8. Overload OB1 is equal to new overload of. Overload OB2 is equal to new overload of 7, 8, 4.0. Overload OB3 is equal to new overload 8, 9.5. And I'm closing the main method and I'm closing the class. So what happens here in the sense, how it will be, let's see how it will be executing. Okay, so we'll begin with this. See, constructor overloading, same class name. How many constructors are there? I have written 4 constructors with the same class name. But what will be the difference? No parameter, 2 parameter, 1 integer and float, 3 parameter, 2 integer and 1 float, and 2 parameter again, but both are integers. So how the compiler will identify which constructor is to be executed? Let's see. So as from the beginning, we'll start from the class overload, and then it will execute, it will declare these 2 variables, 3 variables, and now its control will comes to the main method. Public static void main string args. Usually the compiler will start execute it from a static method, and here overload OB is equal to new overload 6,8. This is an object creation. When an object is created, it will automatically call the constructor. It is calling a constructor with 2 parameters. So it will check which constructor is having 2 parameters. So it has got this also and this also. There are 2 constructors. So it has identified. But both, which has to be executed? So it will check which values are there. These both are integer. So it will check again which constructor is having a parameters both that are integer. Here it will check int and float e. No, this is not matching. And now it comes to here, int and int. Yes, this is matches. These are both integer. So it will execute this constructor. So first time it will be, D will be assigned with 6 and E will be assigned with 8. So here A will be 6, B will be 8 and C will be 40.8. So when you use to call OB dot any print, you can get the output 6, 8, 40.8. As like we have done in the by using temporary instance, you can write that. Next, after doing this step 4, we will write 4, 5. Now comes to 6. OB1 is equal to new overload of. Again an object creation with no parameters. So it will go again upward to check which constructor it is to be with no parameters. So this is matches. So for the first time, next is 7. This will be executed 7 with the value A is equal to 2, B will be assigned with 3, C will be assigned with 4.5. Next, after that, again it comes to here 8. Overload OB2 is equal to new overload of 7, 8, 4.0. Again an object creation with 3 parameters, 2 integers and 1 float. So it will go and check which constructor is having 2 integers and 1 float. This constructor matches. So it will come 9. A will be assigned with your 7 and B will be assigned with 8. 7, 8, 4.0. Okay, 4.0. Next, after this execution, again it will come back to the calling function 10. Again an object creation OB3. See, whenever you create an object, the object name should be different. Object 3 with 2 parameters. One is integer and another is float. Again goes upward and check which constructor is having 2 parameters. So these 2 are constructors which is having 2 parameters, and it will check the type. here it matches one int, one float. So automatically this will be executed, and A will be assigned with 8, B will be assigned with 30, C will be assigned with 9.5. This way the constructor will be executed when a class having 2 or 3 constructor. It will identify the constructor by the number and the type of argument passed. I hope it is clear. And next, a very easy topic, calling a constructor inside another constructor. So now you have learned how to call a constructor inside the method. Now how we will call the constructor in another constructor? How will we make a constructor call here in another constructor? Very easy. What you have to do is, you have to use a keyword this. You have to use a keyword this. For that, what I am doing is, how will you call a constructor with another constructor? Okay. So we can take this program. No, we'll take another program. I will show you. So class ABC. Suppose your class name is ABC and you have a variable int I comma j and another variable float d. ABC int a comma int b, int a comma int b, this a comma b comma d, this will for the 6.8. okay, 6.8 ABC int x comma int y comma float z. Here I is equal to x, j is equal to y, d is equal to z. I will write again a public static void main, your main method string args. Okay, here I make a call, only one call I am making, ABC ob is equal to new ABC with 2 values 2 and 5. Okay, 2 values. Closing the method, closing the class. So what happens here? I have created a class ABC. First it will execute it, and this will be executed. It will declare the variables, 2 integer variables and 1 float. And next it comes to main method. There is an object creation with the 2 values. So it means that it will call the constructor with 2 parameters. Which constructor matches? This constructor matches. So it will call the parameter. So it will be 4 and this will be 5. A will be assigned with 2, B will be assigned with 5. So here it is this. This means this is used to call the constructor. This is used to call the constructor. It will check which is a constructor having 3 arguments. 2 are integer, 1 is float. By using this, we can call a constructor inside another constructor. This will store the address of currently calling object. This will store the address of currently calling object, that is, it will store the address of OB, and again this is an object call, object creation with the 3 parameters, that is x, y and a float. So automatically the control will comes to here. You are passing 2, 5 and 6.8. When it executed 6, it will call the constructor with 2, 5 and 6.8, and your I will be assigned with 2, J will be assigned with 5 and Z will be assigned with 6.8. This way you can make a constructor call inside another constructor, that is by using the keyword this. You can make a constructor call inside another constructor call. inside another constructor. Thank you.